injured here. 1v1 Siwal Frontier. Blue side we have HARRYSONRUSS as a Lord General, ranged commander, has lots of support and defensive capabilities. Also has a retinue of stormtroopers that he can add to over the game. On the red side we have Casmario as a Mekboy, quite a versatile commander, can teleport, can put down turrets though you rarely see them. Also pretty nice damage and some support. Not the toughest though to start off. Lord General comes bottom. There's a VP down here in the southwest. One in the northeast. Mekboy's grabbing it first thanks to his superior mobility. And one right in the center. None of them particularly natural. Huge line of points on this map. Guardsman squad for HARRYSONRUSS. No sign of a sentinel yet. Double shooters for Casmario. Standard Ork opening, light ranged infantry, pretty solid tier 1 unit. HARRYSONRUSS going ahead and putting down triple generators. Obviously going for heavy weapon team or Catachan Devils then. Guardsman running away from Sluggard, should turn and engage. Bit too late. Lord General is on capping duty. He's going to try and decap this power point, I think. Might get set upon by sluggers. Nope, they're happy to just cap. He can sit and shoot at them. Mekboy manages to decap this wreck point, very annoying. Then teleports into heavy cover. A great way to use teleporting commanders is to teleport from cover to cover. Has his Daka big shooter, which is going to be very, very bad news for Guardsmen. Only one loss so far for HARRYSONRUSS. This squad has a sergeant, putting him up to 9 members. Looks like the sluggers were forced off. Lord General's not going to wait around against double shooters. No big. Oh, he's have the first big shooter upgrade, giving the squad 2 big shooters, increasing DPS and giving them aiming. What's that? Which lets them suppress. Heavy weapon squad forces the Mekboy to teleport out. Another great thing about teleporting commanders, of course, is that you have a ready-made counter for setup teams. You can just teleport in and tie them up in melee. Huge map control here for Casmario. 453 plays 500. HARRYSONRUSS sacrificing early map control to go for tier 1.5 units. Heavy weapon squad is now moving. Guardsmen dying here. 2 have gone down. Lord General taking lots of fire. Mekboy is quite low on health, but he's in cover. Lord General taking tons of damage, trying to tie up these shooters in melee, loses both of his retinue members. Mekboy teleports in and ties up these heavy weapon guardsmen. Are they going for the building? No, just running away. Catachan Devils on the way for HARRYSONRUSS to no doubt look after those heavy weapon squad. Lord General is going to try and cap center. Might try and finish off the Mekboy here in retreat. Can't quite manage it. Lord General not the most exhilarating in melee. Catachan Devils on the field, which are fantastic in melee. Very versatile unit, have shotguns and a grenade launcher. Can suppress, can disrupt. We saw disruption there, grenade launcher going in. Sluggers have their burners, so they're pretty good at burning up generators here. Catachans are the hard tier 1 melee counter for Imperial Guard, so they're going to be very bad news for these sluggers if they get close. Can suppress them with their shotguns, then move into melee. Heavy weapon squad set up. Lord General gets his sergeant retinue member, the only one he can get in tier 1, gives him a medical pack which he can distribute. Fantastic ability. Catachan's forced off by a huge throng of orcs. Mekboy has his battery pack, so he's not too shabby at supporting himself. Allows him to heal with Avataste. Also gives energy, but none of these tier 1 units use energy. Generators are going down here. Node and one generator went down. Medipack healing those Katashan Devils. Map control is HARRYSONRUSS at the moment. Casmario blobbing up a bit. There goes All Reliable Grenade Launcher. Katashan should be moving into melee, some shooters I think. Hanging back. Their shotguns are quite short range too. Guardsmen pinging their las guns at this node. Will take a while to bring it down. They are capping though. I think Casmario needs another unit in tier 1 to compete. He's going straight to tier 2 though. A mistake in my opinion. Storm Boys would have been great I think. With shooter support would have been able to deal with Katashans and the heavy weapon squad, which is in retreat. Both guardsmen now have, nope, only one still has the sergeant. 385 plays 437, 2-1 cap. Katashans will easily finish off that Mekboy in retreat in melee. Retreating units of course take 30% more melee damage, and I think it's 75% less range damage. Power income advantage for Casmario then. Tier 2 for HARRYSONRUSS. Imperial Guard are typically very fast going to tier 2, but we saw heavy weapon squad, a sergeant, retinue member and Katashans for HARRYSONRUSS. Very heavy tier 1 by Imperial Guard standards. HARRYSONRUSS replaces all of those generators. Tier 2 for Casmario. If you can get a war truck out, it might have been a good choice. Perhaps even a Death Dread. Katashan Devils taking tons of losses, put down a demolition charge. Meaning they have their demolition man of course. One of the 2 squad leaders they can add. Sluggers taking sense and no sign of their knob leader. A Death Dread is on the way for Casmario. 384 plays 404. PowerPoint goes down, capped by Lord General now. Katashans are quite a nasty resource bleed for Imperial Guard. They're not the toughest on a per model basis and cost I think 33.3 to reinforce, which is not cheap when there's 7 or 8 of them, or even 9 when there's a sergeant. Shooter boys have their knob leader. Here comes the Death Dread. Doesn't have its burners and bits upgrade, so it's not the toughest vehicle, but since HARRYSONRUSS has, oh it does, it has an autocannon which does pretty nice anti-vehicle damage, a small AoE as well, and is good at hitting infantry unlike las cannons. Looks like it's going to be forced off here. Sniper rifle on the Lord General. Heavy weapon squad is forced off. Death Dread is going to be very bad for guardsmen in melee. Does splash damage with each melee hit, which I think all walkers in the game do. Also has a fantastic special attack which has huge range on it. We saw it there when he knocked back the guardsman. 2-1 cap then for Casmario. Slight map control in his favour I would say. His generators haven't been touched. He's now trying to retake this node. Death Dread needs to be careful. Here comes the heavy weapon squad. There goes a heavy turret from HARRYSONRUSS. That's a global ability of the Lord General. Fantastic choice I think against the Death Dread. It has great range, does very good anti-vehicle damage. Mekboy, we have lost the indicator for him. He's getting a beamy death gun to try and deal with that turret I think. The turret has vehicle armor, I believe, not structure armor. Lord General boosting the range of surrounding infantry, but there is no surrounding infantry apart from Katashans, who put down a demo charge which is then spotted by the knob leader of this shooter squad, so it's shot at. takes a while to go out. You saw the incredible range that the blast has. BME Def Gun on the Mekboy then does fantastic anti-vehicle damage, sets up to try and take out that turret, which has been upgraded. Stick bombers on the field for Casmario. Very, very bad news for Guardsmen. Artillery unit for Orks. Though they do fight in melee, they throw their grenade stick bombs pretty far, which are great at totally gibbing squads, especially setup teams actually, since by the time they tear up to try and run away, these stick bombs all go off and kill them. Seen as overpowered by a few players. We have double autocannons for HARRYSONRUSS. Pretty good combination. Double autocannons and Catashans. Death Tread is in a bit of trouble. There goes stick bombs. Don't do much damage to the heavyweight squad. I don't think this Death Tread is going to last long. Without bonus and bits, it's basically just a slower blood crusher. Higher damage, I think. And of course has the splash damage, but a lack of mobility really hurts it before that upgrade. Tier 3 for Casmario. Turret will make short work of the Death Dread. 360 degrees range, of course, unlike most other turrets. 1-to-1 cap, 265 plays 374. Casmario having an advantage going into tier 3. No doubt has his eye on a knob squad. Melter gun on the Katashan Devils, which means they are up to full strength with both of their squad leaders, Demolition Man and the Sergeant, trying to hit Casmario's power, which hasn't been touched. Autocannon setting up will be bad news for shooters with its small AoE damage. Shooters ripped apart there. Mekboy trying to take out this turret, is getting hits from it though. Needs to set up further away, I think. This turret upgrade doesn't have that much of a range. He's forced to retreat. Katashans won't catch him in melee. Mekboy goes down in retreat to ranged fire. 265 plays 329. 2-0 cap for HARRYSONRUSS. Sluggers scared off some poor guardsmen who got ripped to pieces, down to 3 members. They cap the top. Stick bombs thrown in against Katashans. They heal just in time and take no losses. Quite an unconventional build order then for HARRYSONRUSS. Usually you see Guardsman, Sentinel into a Chimera. Completely bucking the trend. Now goes for a Manticore. Looted tank on the way for Casmario. Double autocannons and that turret might be bad news for it though. Shooter boys down to 2 members, just get away. Guardsman again coming top. Don't even have a sergeant. App control swinging blue. Manticore is on the field, heavy artillery, huge range and damage potential, but it's very slow and vulnerable. We have a launch here. Not sure where it's going. Was it on his generators? I'm not sure where it went. I fail at finding Manticore strikes. Sluggers again force off those guardsmen and recap. Here comes the looted tank, battle tank for Orks. No reinforced plating, already taking a lot of damage from that autocannon. There goes stick bombs, trying to wipe the autocannon squad. You really need 2 squads of stick bombers, I think, to get the most out of them. This generator is just hanging on with 37 HP. Tank was a mistake, I think. We have stormtroopers on the way for HARRYSONRUSS. If you're going to rush to tier 3, then go for a knob squad. Anything else you're just wasting your time, and the looted tank goes down. Didn't last long. Manticore finished it off. It's quite far forward. This map is not very small when going left to right. That is southeast to northwest. Turret trying to finish off the Mekboy. He's not shooting at anything. And he's lucky he retreated that way.
Good show, sir.
And he concedes. Fantastic win for HARRYSONRUSS, showing that you don't need to do the same build order over and over again for Imperial Guard to be effective. Sacrificing early map control for 1.5 units turned out great. Poor choices for Casmario though. Only one stick bomber squad and a looted tank. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.